You may not have heard of these brands, but these are 3 of my most unique watches. Let's start with the first piece. So let's go with this. So this is actually an Avanti. So Avanti is actually an Australian independent brand, and this is actually a very unique piece because it's made entirely out of sapphire glass. In this case, it's blue sapphire, which is even harder to produce. You can also see inside that there is a tourbillon movement. That is something else that's very special about this piece. It has a 72 hours power reserve. Yeah, it's a very fun piece to wear. So it's paired also on a deluxe strap that I ordered. Shout out Deluxe. And it pairs very, very comfortably. It's actually a sailcloth style leather strap, which is very in trend now. And I think the white really makes the blue pop. The next piece that we look at is actually this one. This is the Mad One. It's a very fun watch. This is what we like to call a horological fidget spinner. So Mad One has a very interesting story. It's actually from MB&F, Maximilian Buser and Friends. And this is actually a limited piece that they came out with. And they did a raffle concept for this. So there were only about 3,000 pieces available. They did one in red, they did one in green, and they have one in blue that is for their friends and family. So one interesting thing about this is that if I were to ask you how to tell the time, it will be very, very difficult for you to answer that. But in fact, actually, if you look over here, you can see that there is an hour and minute track with a little indicator. So a very, very fun piece because out of nowhere, it just starts to spin when you're wearing it, which I'm trying to get to do it now, but it's not really working, right? But yeah, a very, very fun piece. Shout out to my wife, Michelle, because she's the one who bought this watch for me. So thank you. So moving on to our third and final piece, we actually have this Omega Speedmaster. So most people will know this brand, Omega, and this is actually the 50th anniversary Silver Snoopy edition. So contrary to what most people think, it's actually not a collaboration between Omega and Snoopy. It's actually a collaboration between Omega and NASA. So NASA awarded the Silver Snoopy Award to Omega for a contribution to spaceflight. And as you can see, it's a very, very interesting watch. When you turn it around, you'll see that there's a very interesting animation. Once the watch is running, you'll see that the Earth is actually spinning. And if you engage the chronograph seconds and you give it some time, you'll eventually be able to see that a small little rocket with Snoopy starts coming over from the dark side of the moon. So a very, very fun little animation behind. So there you have it. These are my 3 most unique pieces. So take a vote in the poll below and tell me which one do you think is the most unique piece. If you'd like to know more about any of these watches, please feel free to drop me a DM and we can have a chat.